You know, having an option for a quick, warm, tasty meal during or after an SHTF event would be really nice. And we've done a few videos about having meals like that in general. We did one about breakfast, and now this video is about perhaps the biggest meal or your most looked for meal of the day, supper. Quick, easy, safe indoor cooking for supper or dinner, if you prefer to call it that, during and after the SHTF event. We got cooking options and meal options for you. If you're interested in that, this is a video for you. These meal options that we're going to look at, any of them and all of them can be safely fixed indoors during an emergency situation using things like, this is the Sterno stove with Sterno fuel. This is Kugelin's, I think it's pronounced, version of the Sterno stove. Can use the Sterno fuel or any of the other Sterno stove fuels. Either of these can use an alcohol stove, which will give you a little bit quicker results or will cook quicker than the Sterno fuels. You can use a kettle, you can use a skillet. That's a carbon steel, but you can also use small cast iron skillets. Either of these options with either of the fuels will work to cook any of these meals. And if you would like to see videos using these stoves, using those utensils, cooking these various meals that's in this video, then be sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell. We got a lot of these videos in preparation to come out. And in addition to the Sterno type stoves, you can also use a butane stove. The butane stove, as you can see on this one, has a burner on it. It's just, you can cook anything on this that you would cook on your regular stovetop. It's easy, it's quick. I'm going to take just a moment to show you how easy it is to use. If you don't want to see that, you can just skip this part. This is a very easy stove to use. The burner will allow you to cook anything that you would normally cook on your regular stove in your kitchen. It's just limited to one burner at a time, of course. The fuel, easy to get, a little bit expensive. In a future video, I'm going to do a very detailed look at a butane stove, but that's for another video. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss that. Merely put the butane in, has a locking mechanism, cover it, and this one has it ignites itself. I forget what that's called. If you want to cook, boil something, water, stews, soups, whatever, or if you want to fry something, got your skillets. Simple, easy to use. Every meal that we're going to look at can be easily fixed on this, and of course this stove will cook the meals much easier and quicker than you can do it on the Sterno stoves. But still yet, the Sterno stoves with either the Sterno fuel or the alcohol stove will work just fine. 7 meals to fix safely indoors during a grid down situation, SHTF, or just an emergency. Meal option number 1, roast beef and mashed potatoes. In the event that you have to fix more for more people, you can also get a larger box or a larger box. You can add more roast beef. This meal is easy to expand. What you have, the broth, the gravy in here, if you want more. Meal option number 2, chicken and rice. This rice is already cooked. It's just a matter of heating it up, and then you can add your chicken in at the same time. Heat them both at the same time. It'd be easy to scale this one up as well. And of course, you can add any kind of flavorings to this that you might want to have. Quick meal option number 3 also uses the rice. This time, beans and rice. Most of you might like pinto beans, but others have different kinds of beans that you like. Beans and rice also combined make a complete protein, just like the chicken, the roast beef, and so forth. So in the event you don't have canned meats around or some form of meat, this meal will give you a complete protein. And again, more cans, more rice. You can scale this meal up for one person up to 5, whatever number you might need. This meal also can be enhanced. Sauerkraut always goes good. with beans, store-bought sauerkraut in a can. You can just open this up and eat it, or you can heat it, or this is homemade sauerkraut. Many of you can do this and probably do. Either one will make the meal much better, in my thinking. Quick meal option number 4 would be a form of spaghetti and meatballs. This kind of spaghetti, if you're going to fix this indoors quickly, you can use the ramen noodles. They will cook much quicker than the spaghetti will. As far as the meatballs, I apologize. I thought I had Keystone meat in hamburger. They do make a hamburger version of their meat. We had some. I think we ate it all. So if you will, picture this as being hamburger rather than beef. And you can make your meatballs with that. Your spaghetti sauce, tomato paste combined with a mixture, add it all together and in the kettle, and soon you will have spaghetti and meatballs. Quick meal number 5. This is chili with beans. This is a pre-made thing, obviously, not in a can. It's a little easier to deal with than those in the can. You don't have to have a can opener, but this is just a pour it into the kettle, heat it up. And of course, like the other meals, you can scale this one up with 2 packages, 3 packages, or whatever you might need. Really quick, really easy to make this meal. If you're wondering how easy, tear or cut pouch to open, pour contents into the saucepan, heat and serve. It couldn't get much easier. And speaking of the chili with beans, you can also get varieties, different kinds of very similar things fixed the same way. Quick meal number 6 is back to the pasta type of meals, and this is just simply canned pasta, ravioli, and it comes in a whole variety of flavors: beefaroni, ravioli, spaghetti and meatballs, and on the list goes. One of the most easily scalable meals you could fix. 1 person, 1 can, 2 people, 2 cans, 5 people, 5 cans, and so forth. Quick meal option number 7 would be to make your own soup from various things you probably already have on hand in your pantry, including various vegetables, beans of one sort or kind of another if you want beans in it. You could use chicken. You could go for a beef stew or a beef type kind of soup. You can add noodles, and if you're doing the beef, you can get beef flavored ramen noodles. If you're doing the chicken, there's chicken flavored ramen noodles. You can add in gravy mixes, not making gravy, but just add the mix in, just like if you've made ramen noodles before, you know they have the little flavor packets. Very similar stuff in these, just add them to the soup. If you're going for chicken, a chicken gravy mix or a turkey gravy mix. If you want it to have a little bit of zing to it, put some chili seasoning in it. And of course the meal can be scaled up. You can use a larger kettle like that one. You can use the smaller one like I showed you at the beginning of the video. And if you got the capacity to boil water, you can have a good, tasty, hearty, filling meal. And these meals that we looked at, if you want to add a little more to them, it's easy to do right along with using your butane stove or your sterno type stove. You want to add some potatoes to your meal. You know, you got the instant potatoes, hash browns, scalloped potatoes. If you want ketchup, it's kind of like ketchup powder. Or, as we did in a previous video, you can make ketchup, very tasty ketchup with tomato powder. Easy to do, quick to do, very tasty. If you want some pasta on the side, there's a number of things you can have, a variety of flavors, all kinds of flavorings, gravies that you can have, keep on hand, all easy to fix. And the one thing that a lot of people like with their meals, especially me, is some kind of bread. All-purpose flour You can easily, quickly make any number of different types and flavors of quick breads. We will be doing a video on just such things in the very near future, using the all-purpose flour, various spices, additives, for lack of a better way to say it, making quick breads on numerous kinds of stoves, indoors and outdoors. If you're interested in how to have quick breads, flatbreads with your meals, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. If videos like these giving you ideas for quick, easy meals that you can pick up at the dollar store, your grocery store, or wherever, then be sure to check out this video. So until I see you the next time, shalom.